wait a minute, Jack. This is a friendly celebration.
I don't much like the way you celebrate.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ken.
Hi guys.
Hey, Ken.
How are you, sir?
Well,
Hey,
I'm good. How are you both?
we're both
We're
fine.
doing
We just
good.
checked each other.
Yeah.
You're trying to
We were-
what each other?
We just checked on each other, and we're both doing okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're all right. We were talking about weather. Not
Okay.
whether or not, but WEATHER.
Right. Okay. Good.
And we're supposed to have Sunday morning here. It's supposed to be 24 degrees.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and Paul was talking about when he was out sailing, they were up the Florida coast. They got to Vero Beach and it was snowing on them. So
Oh, wow.
it can
That
happen.
Yeah.
I was
That
just
was-
watching a documentary four video documentary about the Challenger explosion 40 years ago yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that
Birthday
was caused
yesterday.
by
Frozen
by a
O-rings.
a hard freeze there at Cape Canaveral the night before, and
Yeah.
killed
And
7 people.
the decision was to let them fly, and it was not a good decision. So yeah, the O-rings were frozen on one of the boosters, and it didn't work really. So
When we saw those videos of that little stream of hot gas going out the side of the booster, you knew the world was coming to an end
yeah, that's right.
because it was shooting right into the main fuel tank.
Well, it's a big topic down here right now because that new expedition to the moon is sitting down here on a pad getting ready to go.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and what's
Who's
it
doing
called?
that?
Artemis
Artemis?
2. It's called. I'm not
Who's-
sure.
who's
I'm
behind
not
that?
sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's NASA, but I don't know if Elon Musk is involved or Jeff Bezos or
Basil?
who's behind that financially. So
I am not involved.
you're not involved. Okay. Well, listen, I have to tell you, Ken, I listened to your show a little bit and yesterday,
Oh,
Tuesday, I mean, and I want to know if did you solve the gravel pit problem
no.
in Prescott? No.
That's gonna be a real interesting issue because
Yeah.
it's out in Prescott Valley.
Right.
There's a gravel pit that has been there for 40 years.
Yeah.
It's, they provided a lot of the dirt that built Prescott Valley from nothing
Yeah.
40 years ago to 50,000. I mean, Prescott Valley is bigger than Prescott now.
Yeah.
But the gravel pit is located right smack in the middle of town.
Mm.
Maybe not, I shouldn't say the middle of town, but it is very close to some very dense existing residential developments. There's a city park, there's a little lake, there's the entrance to a large subdivision. There's all kinds of development that is developed up around the existing gravel pit that has been used for 40, 50 years to build Prescott Valley.
Yeah.
Well, the owners of that gravel pit have the legal authority to double or triple the size of the gravel pit right where it's at right now.
And
And
they
if
could
they
do
were-
that? Is there
they
room
could
to
do
do that?
They could do that.
Yeah.
And there are hundreds and hundreds of homes who would be impacted for sure.
Yeah.
And so they went to the town of Prescott Valley a decade ago and said, do you want us to expand our gravel pit right smack in the, right on the edge of right in town here? And the city council said, no, let's help you find a different place.
Yeah.
So they went out a mile or two to the south of town. Yes, it gets closer to the country club and some of these other rural subdivisions way out there, but they went out and found this low spot, and it will impact far, 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 far fewer people if they move their gravel pit there
Yeah.
than if they double or triple the size of the gravel pit where it is right now.
Yeah.
So the lady that was saying, we're collecting signatures to vote against the gravel pit. If they stop the gravel pit from moving to its new location a couple miles away and out in the middle of nowhere, the company will have no other choice but to double or triple the size of the gravel pit right where it's located right now. And that's not where it should be.
Yeah. Interesting. This is the same. This company has been there for 40 years, you said.
Yeah.
Is Prescott Valley part of the city of Prescott?
No. It's its own separate. In fact, it's called the town of Prescott Valley because when it started, there were 6 buildings and probably 100 people. Yeah. But now it's bigger. Now it's more populous than Prescott. There's 50,000 people in Prescott Valley and probably 45,000 people in Prescott.
Got it. Interesting. So, well, it sounded like she was pretty excited about it and wanted everybody to come to the library and hear about
petition,
it. So,
but
yeah,
if they succeed in getting it on the ballot and killing it, there will be 10 times as many people upset that the gravel pit
didn't move.
Didn't move.
Yeah. Even bigger petition.
Right.
More signatures. Yeah.
So,
okay. Well, interesting stuff.
Everything's a lot of public decisions are made based on the principle of NIMBY, not in my backyard. As long as it's not in my backyard, I don't care where it happens. You
guys remember Rosanna Dana on Saturday Night Live?
Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
Her favorite expression was, "It just goes to show you, it's always something."
Yeah.
Well, Jan, it just goes to show you, it's always something. If it's not one thing, it's another. If you can't get tickets to the Todd exhibit, you got a green tongue.
Anything comes to mind that you'd like to discuss this week? I was going to kind of let everybody rant. If you have one, I can lead off if you want.
No, please. You.
But well, I was
not going to have Jeff, by the way. Is Jeff?
Jeff, I don't think Jeff's going to make it. Yeah, he wrote me and said he didn't think he was going to make it. I wasn't sure about Zach either. So I was having misgivings about what was going on in Minnesota. Not that I'm not worried about the shooting itself, and obviously more evidence has come forth that the guy that was killed was really a troublemaker, and there's other videos of him causing more trouble than just that one day. So he obviously his background didn't fit what they were trying to present, that he was some innocent nurse from the hospital or whatever. So anyway, I was concerned that we were going to back off in Minnesota, and I thought that was the wrong thing to do. But I listened to Tom Homan this morning on his press conference, and he seemed pretty confident that nothing's going to change very much. They are going to get the cooperation of the sheriffs and the police departments and let them pick up criminals in the jails and in the prisons. And but he said if they target somebody in the city that they need to get, if they're a danger to the community, if they have a criminal background, if they're possible terrorist or whatever, one of these 2 million gotaways, they're going to do a targeted operation and get that person. I don't know if the press like that. I don't know how much of the word of the mayor and the governor that he can trust. That's kind of a question to me, whether you can trust either one of those guys. I think he can. I think he feels like he can trust the police department chiefs and the sheriffs, but of course the police department, is told what to do by the mayor and hired by the mayor. So you never know about that. But anyway, that was going to be my rant, but I've kind of calmed down about that. Tom Homan convinced me that we're okay there and we're going to proceed.
But I also, to your point though, Don, I also heard a clip, part of Homan talking to the press today, where he said that they are looking at ways to do better in their
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
procedures.
Yeah.
And so I think it's reasonable
Yeah.
to acknowledge that we can always do better. Now, the other side will say, well, if you're acknowledging that you can do better, you're acknowledging that you did something wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, I had wanted to ask our group last week, but Zach wasn't on the line, and he would be the best one to ask.
Yeah.
Is it standard operating procedure for any law enforcement agency? Zach was in Border Patrol, to put yourself in front of a live vehicle to apprehend somebody in that vehicle. I would think that standard operating procedure would be to never put yourself in front of a vehicle that the engine's running and the gears are engaged, and it could, get on you in a matter of a split second. But
Sure. Yeah.
but I thought it at least noteworthy that Homan said that they're looking at ways to do what they're doing better. That doesn't mean that I'm, like as you say, that doesn't mean that I'm against what they're doing as a whole.
Right.
But
Sure. Yeah, and that's
if they can do it, if they can do it better, that's good, because
right.
I
That's
think this is going to
understandable.
hurt.
Yeah.
I think this is going to hurt Trump and the Republicans in the elections later this year.
Now you heard about the second shooting, right?
The guy, the
Freddie?
nurse,
Yeah, the
Freddie?
nurse. Yeah.
Pretty, yeah.
Freddie, yeah.
Yeah. He is he's the one now who's got the ire of the crowds up so much, he stirred him up some more, but then they found these other videos of him where he kicked out a taillight of a ice car, and the guy got out and they got him, and apparently he broke a rib during that altercation when they threw him on the ground, and he didn't report it to anybody. He didn't go get medical attention because he didn't want anybody to know about it. He obviously didn't want his parents to know about it because they think he's an angel, right? So they told him, well, don't do anything stupid, go to protest if you feel like you have to. Well, he did something stupid twice. So anyway, he was just a case of finding out he had a gun. Now, whether he reached for the gun, that's the question. Evidently, 2 agents fired at him and killed him, and they've both been relieved of duty for the time being, which is pretty normal in a shooting with any police department, I think. But
Yeah, I'd like to get in on this part of the conversation.
Go ahead, Paul. Yeah.
But I want to go back first to Holman's speech this morning. I watched the whole thing, and I think he's done an excellent job. He stood up there and he said, I'm going to do my job. He said, if we can get the local police and the state police to work with us, then we can send one man in to arrest one criminal. If we've got to go out and hunt them down, we've got to not only send 6 or 8 men to hunt down the bad guy, we've got to send a security detail with us to protect the guys that are looking for them. And so what he did, in effect, is he said to the masses, the protesters, if you don't want us out here, get your boss to do the job he's supposed to do. Don't come fussing at us if we have to carry 16 men out to arrest somebody when we could have picked him up in jail with one guy and not get into your neighborhood at all. And I think that was an excellent way to put that. So he took the whole ball of wax and put it in the mayor and the governor's desk and said, if they do their job, we can do our job without disturbing you. So if you don't want us in your neighborhood, go talk to them about turning these people over, when they're in jail.
Yeah.
So that's that. Now on the pretty thing, there was somebody said that the ICE has done pretty good job, which is terrible. But I'm laughing anyway. But Pretty was an agitator. It's pretty obvious from the first time, and then even from the second time. But the funny thing is, all of a sudden the president said he shouldn't have had a gun there, and all of these Democrats are saying, "Oh, the president's against the Second Amendment."
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
now they're all for
Well,
the Second Amendment. You know?
you could go to a protest and have your sidearm on your side and they saw it, but as long as you don't attack them or go after them or do something stupid, they're not just going to shoot you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I've seen about 3 or 4 reviews of the first video that they got of him,
yeah,
and evidently he was disarmed by one of the ICE agents, and the view that they gave and the story they told was that there was a negligent discharge, that the ICE agent that disarmed him, the gun went off in his hand, but he was behind the ones that were between him and Pretty, and somebody panicked, they yelled gun, 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 and then the gun went off, and their reaction was it had to come from him because we aren't shooting anybody, and
yeah,
so they shot him.
yeah.
So the way it was defined or described was as a terrible series of mistakes. Uh,
I,
pretty. Go ahead.
well, I saw a picture or video from the backside where he reached for the gun on his waistband.
I mean, may have, but I know
Yeah.
the video I saw, the agent had already pretty well relieved him of his firearm.
Well, I was wondering, was that his firearm or was that his personal firearm?
No, no, no.
No.
The way I saw it, the agent reached in and grabbed his gun out from his belt
Okay.
and walked away. And as he was walking away, the gun discharged.
Now, the first altercation they had on video, when they wrestled him to the ground, and while he was wrestling, his shirt came up, his jacket came up, and he had the gun in his
Right.
backs in that altercation. So which was kind of interesting to me. But yeah, I guess
But
they've got several camera shots, several videos. They got more videos. They got 2 guys they know that fired the shots, and they're going to investigate it. So we'll see what happens.
yeah, but he pretty kind of stepped on it by being videoed being aggressive 11 days before his
Oh yeah, yeah.
demise.
He was yelling, calling them MFs and spitting on them,
Uh,
and you name it. So yeah, and then he kicked the taillight out, which that was it for that one ice guy. He got out of the back seat and said, "That's it. That's
Yeah,
you
that's
got
when
too
I
far
saw the,
now."
yeah.
Yeah,
you can only
so
poke the tiger so many times without it
yeah, that's
turning
right.
on you.
Yeah, that's it. So you guys, what's your rants? What's your rant for the week? You got something for the audience that you'd
Oh, well,
address, talk about?
we could go to Elon Omar's uh,
Oh, her
soaking or spray or
yeah,
whatever
her
it was.
attack, her water
Yeah,
attack.
yeah. Well, the Babylon Bee said they discovered what that noxious substance was. It was Somali food. But anyway,
It sounds
I don't
like
know
the
that.
Babylon Bee.
Yeah, that was the Babylon Bee.
Yeah.
But I saw a couple of videos right after it happened where they said, "Well, look how she nods to the guy, and then he jumps up and squirts her with a thing of, and it turned out to be apple cider vinegar,
Mm.
not a terribly harmful substance." Uh, and it's just it's these people they're trying to take the focus. It's the shiny
Oh,
object.
sure.
Let's
Yeah.
take the oh look, somebody tried to kill me over here just because I stole $3 billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the
I
matter with people? No tolerance.
I think I think it was all a plant.
Yeah.
She probably paid the guy or somebody did. Somebody she knew paid him to do it. Yeah, it was just a stunt. And they'll get to the bottom of it, I think. I think they'll find out the stuff that they pull is they try to pull is so obvious. It's like the fraud stuff. You can see how dumb the people were in Minnesota if they couldn't figure out what they were doing. Because when you look at it and see the things they were doing, like the place that was taking care of the kids,
Hmm.
it's pretty obvious it's a scam, and none of them could figure that out. So
Yeah. But on the
sad.
other hand, if they were part of it, they weren't looking real hard to find it, you know?
So did you guys get a chance to watch your Arizona Attorney General chime in on the ICE thing?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Boy,
yes.
Yeah, it was.
Very concerning and disappointing that she would cite Arizona's standard ground laws as a reason for protesting against law enforcement.
Yeah,
As
pretty
though if you can
stupid.
just if you just claim that you didn't know they were law enforcement, you're supposed to use standard ground laws against
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
law enforcement. That's ridiculous.
yeah. It was sad. So yeah, yeah. She's a piece of work, boy. And
well, there's that triumvirate. There's Fontes, Mays, and Hobbs. Those three, how they got into office, in my mind, is a big question.
yeah.
Uh, and what good they're doing for Arizona doesn't, well, like Fontes changed some of the reporting rules, um, that got some votes through that probably wouldn't have gotten through if he hadn't changed the rules like he did. So and
Well, I haven't heard about that. What are you referring to, Paul?
I'd have to go look it back up. I was just reading
Okay.
about it this morning, but it was basically the election manual had some rules or requirements that didn't match state law, is the way it was put that I read it. It had to do with the certifications. It might have had something to do with like what happened in Cochise County. He made them. Oh, that's right. The term they used was he took a requirement. Okay, the requirement was for the Board of Supervisors to certify the elections unless they had a problem with it. Okay, but he said no. He put the election manual and wrote it up so that the the way they described it was that the certification by the Board of Supervisors was ministerial, not legal. In other words, they were just supposed to sign the thing and send it on. That was their job.
Yeah.
Not question it, not examine it. Just when it was handed to them, sign it and send it to Phoenix to be counted. And that doesn't conform, according to what I read, with Arizona law.
So Arizona
And
law supersedes the manual, right?
Well, yes, I would think so.
uh, well, yes and no. I mean, I've done more election procedures manual than anyone alive in
Yeah,
Arizona.
yeah.
During my 6 years as Secretary of State, I had to do 3 election procedures manuals, and the existence of the manual and its weight as being equal to state law is stated in state law. I mean, the state law says there shall be an election procedures manual and it shall have the effect of law. But as Paul mentioned, you can put stuff in there that is not supported by state law. And if you do that, as I think Fontes did in a couple of cases,
Mhm.
I don't think Fontes is as bad as all Republicans say he is. He's not as good as he says he is. Of course, nobody's as good as their supporters say they are, or bad as their opponents say they are. But the one that concerned me, for example, he put in the procedures manual that if a county didn't send in their certification in a timely manner, that the Secretary of State could just add up the numbers for the state of Arizona and exclude that county completely. That is wrong. there, there shouldn't be any situation where an entire county's election results get excluded from the statewide total. So it was wrong for him to try to put in there, and I'm sure he suggested put it in there to put pressure on county boards of supervisors to get their certification in on a timely basis. But it was wrong for him to then go a step further and say, and if you don't get it in time, we're going to add up the Arizona totals without that county being included at all. That was wrong. I, as I recall, the time that Cochise County didn't send in their certification was not because they were still questioning the certification of the vote in their own county. They said they weren't sending in their own Cochise County certification because they were concerned about how Maricopa County had done their certification. And it is not the role of one county to withhold its votes
Because another
to
county
try
has
to
problems. Yeah.
to try to somehow point out some problem that they think some other county has.
Yeah.
So this is not a 100% fault on one side and zero on the other. I think there were some things done wrong on both sides, and no county should be withholding their certification of the election results to try to point out some problem that they think exists in another county. I mean, we saw, unfortunately, we saw Pinal County in 2022 really stick their face in it because when the whole state had to recount the Mays and Abe Hamaday election for Attorney General, and the first results, Abe Hamaday was losing by 500 or 600 votes. When when Pinal County recounted their votes, it changed by 300 votes in one little county. And it's the third largest county, so it's not a little county, but
Yeah.
so, Pinal County obviously had some issues between their first count and the recount a week later. And now you had Republicans that said, well, if every other county changed as much as Pinal County changed, then maybe Hamaday didn't lose, maybe Mays didn't win, maybe the whole state result was out of whack. We recounted in Yavapai County, and both times we came up with the same result. And I know there's a lot of Republicans that don't like to hear it, but I think Hamaday just barely lost the attorney. And I wish he hadn't. I wish he would have won, but he just barely lost in 2022. So, but Mays is doing enough crazy stuff that I think we have a good chance of getting her out this November.
Who's running for Attorney General for the Republicans, Ken?
The Senate President Warren Peterson.
Oh, okay.
A recurring candidate for any one of a number of positions, Rodney Glassman.
Oh, yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
Who a decade ago was a Democrat.
Yeah.
And now has said that he's converted over to the Republicans, which we should encourage. But there's a lot of people saying, is that a real conversion or is that a conversion of convenience? But Glassman has at least been an attorney for 20 years, and he's a JAG officer with the Arizona National Guard, and he's in charge of an office of attorneys in the JAG office of 20, 30 attorneys.
So he's got experience.
So he has experience. He claims to be the only one, and then there's a third guy running. I can't even think of his name, Roberg or something, Scott Roberg. But
is Warren Peterson?
Glassman is quick to point out that he's the only one of the three that has ever given money to Donald Trump to support Donald Trump's campaign.
Yeah. There you go. So is Peterson an ex-attorney, or what was an attorney?
Peterson became an attorney a couple of years ago while he was in the Senate. He passed the bar, but he's never practiced as an attorney.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. Why would you do that? What would be the reason for doing that?
So that you could run for Attorney General. The Attorney General position is the only statewide office that has a requirement that you have to be something.
Yeah.
You can be the state superintendent of public instruction without having a superintendent certificate or a certified teacher or anything like that. You can be the state treasurer and know nothing about finances. You can be the governor and know nothing about anything, but you cannot run for the attorney general position without being a licensed attorney.
Yeah, okay, got it. Interesting. We shoot ourselves in the foot sometimes. So how about a rant, Ken? You got a rant of any kind, or Paul? Do you still have a rant you want to go to, or?
I'm pondering which ones, but let Ken rant and I'll catch up.
Well,
Okay.
the rant I would have is shame on the governor for not calling a special session last fall to conform Arizona tax laws to match the federal tax laws that were passed last summer. July 4th, I think, is when
Yeah.
Trump signed the big, beautiful bill.
Right.
So every year, every state has to decide whether it conforms its tax laws to the federal government.
Yeah.
And it's usually a no-brainer because you don't want people in your state to have to do one set of books for the federal government and keep a different set of books because you have a different set of rules for the state taxes.
Yeah.
So, but Hobbs did not call the legislature into a special session to conform to the federal tax law. And now the first bill that the Republican legislature passed and sent up to her within 2 or 3 days of opening the session was to conform the tax laws, and she vetoed it. So now you got Arizona. Now she didn't want to conform to some of the small business tax breaks that Trump put in, because whatever reason. But
so she doesn't understand. I'm sorry, she doesn't understand that
she doesn't understand. Yeah, she doesn't understand.
Half the state voted for that.
Yeah, that and small businesses are usually owned by individual taxpayers.
Oh yeah.
And so, you may have a small business, but you end up paying your taxes as an individual.
Sure.
And so to say that she said she didn't want to conform to the part of the big beautiful bill that was helping billionaires. Well, small business is not
most of
made
them
up
aren't.
mostly of billionaires. Small business,
right.
There's hundreds of thousands of small businesses in Arizona that are regular people, and that she didn't conform Arizona. So now you've got if you're in an industry that has tips, now you don't know what to do in Arizona because the big beautiful bill excluded $25,000 of tips.
Yeah.
If you earned some of your income in overtime, the big beautiful bill excluded so much of overtime for people that they don't have to pay taxes on. So I mean, there's a lot of people in Arizona that it might be okay to fill out your federal taxes as soon as you want, but it's a crapshoot whether you should do your state taxes, because if you do it right now, it's most likely that you're going to have to amend your returns, and that's a pain in the neck.
That is a pain. Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, Katie wasn't thinking. She wasn't thinking when she could have done things the right way. Well, I want you to know that I have been working on our taxes, and as far as I can tell, all of the BBB stuff is in the new software for TurboTax.
Good.
So it's picking up the 12,000 or the 6,000 Social Security for each of us, and
where's the 1099 that Paul and Jeff and I are supposed to receive from 4 Men in America for our $1 million fee that we each charge to be on this podcast every year?
It's hard to split up pennies.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
So it costs more to make. It costs more to make the 1099 than it does to pay you guys. So, besides, you're having, time flies when you're having fun, Ken. Right?
That's right.
This is true. True.
Well, just to be clear to any listeners who might get a misunderstanding, there is no pay involved in 4 Men in America.
That's right. Yeah.
Our pay is in this fellowship.
Yeah. There you go.
But I do have a rant, and but it's not a political rant. I've got a Jeep that I bought in 2013 new, and I bought a $3,000 lifetime maintenance contract on it, such that if something happens to the Jeep, I take it to the dealer. This is Larry Miller here in Tucson, and they're supposed to fix it, and I'm supposed to pay $100, and they cover all the rest of the cost. So I'm driving up to Payson the other day. This is in December, and I hit a slow spot in the road. The speed limit drops from 65 to 55. So I'm on cruise control. So I tap the brake, and the car starts to slow down. So I catch the accelerator and maintain 55. And then I get to the other end of that thing, and I hit the resume button, which brings the speed back up to whatever you had set previous to this.
Right.
But as soon as the car starts to accelerate, it downshifts from, this is a 5-speed automatic transmission. It downshifts from 5th gear to 4th gear. There's kind of a thunk, and the engine quits. Boom. Just drops right off the thing. So I called a tow truck, and they came and took us to Florence to a repair shop. And they said, well, we can't find anything wrong with it. And we said we ran the codes, and there's nothing that indicates anything that happened. So anyway, I said, "Can you think it'll take me home?" And he said, "Yeah, I think it'll take you home." And sure enough, it did. We got home to Green Valley. A couple of days later, I went to Tucson for something, and on my way back in front of the Spectrum Mall, which is at Irvington and I-19, I'm passing a truck, and as I pull out around him and get up about even with him, it drops down into 4th gear again, and the engine quits. So I pull off into the median because I can't get over to the right side of the road. And then it happened one more time. And I've taken it into Larry Miller, and they've looked at it, and they said they can't find anything but a code that says that my catalytic converter is not right. So they're going to fix all that for me. So I put it in the shop, and then they found out that there's the camshaft on one side of the engine. It's a 6-cylinder V6. Has got too much wear on it, so they're going to replace that. Well, the maintenance contract covered that, paid the $1,200 or whatever it was, but I had to pay the $900 for the catalytic converter. Okay, I don't like that, but that's what the contract says. So I asked the guy, I said, "You think it's?" And the engine's now running very smooth. So we get ready to take our trip, which takes us from Arizona to Texas to Oklahoma to Louisiana to Mississippi, back to Louisiana, back to Texas, back to Green Valley. The thing quits on me 8 times. 8 times it shuts down.
On your trip?
Yeah.
Wow.
But we learned that all I got to do is pull over, wait 5 minutes. Mary Margaret now has a 5-minute timer on her phone. She hits the button, turns on the flashers and hits the button. That's her job. 5 minutes, I hit the starter, it cranks up, and off we go. And 2 of the times it happened the same way with the resume button on the cruise control. It dropped down into gears, and a couple of times it was going up a hill, and it dropped down into the next lower gear and quit on us. One time we were driving down a flat, straight road and hit a bump, and it quit on us. So I take it back into Larry Miller when we get back, and they work on it over the weekend, and then on Monday their shop guy comes in, their head honcho fixer, and he says it's my PCM, it's the computer module.
Our control module. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is they can't find one. They can't find a new one. So they look for a rebuilt one, a refurbishment, and they find it, but it's on the other side of the ice storm. It's on the northeast somewhere. So they said, well, we'll get it here as soon as we can. Well, that was last week. It finally showed up on Monday. And the guy tells me, I call him and I say, "Does the part come in?" He said, "Oh, it just came in." Okay, it just came in. And I said, "Okay, well, have you talked with my maintenance contract to see if they'll cover it?" He said, "Oh, I'm pretty sure they will." And he said, "Oh, no, they won't pay for a refurbished board. They'll only pay for a new one." Well, I said, "Well, that doesn't sound right, but let's check it out." So I get my contract out. It's 10 pages of stuff. And sure enough, right there on page 2, it says, "Your parts will be refurbished parts unless they can't be found, and then they'll be replaced with new parts." So I send him this stuff on, I take pictures of it and send it on a text to him. And he says, "Oh, okay, well, I'll check with my boss and see how that works." Anyway, long story short, well, it's not too short, but anyway, yesterday I called him and I said, "Well, what's going on?" He said, "Well, we put the part in and it doesn't work. We're going to have to wait for a new part, or we're going to try to find an old part, a refurbished part, but we can a new part." And I said, "Well, how long is that going to take?" And he said, "Well, it could take up to 4 months. They're back ordered."
Oh
And
my
I
goodness.
said, "You're asking me to sit around here for 4 months without a car because you can't find a part. And he said, well, yeah, that's what's happened. So anyway, that's my rant. There is some misjustice here, disjustice, or whatever the word I'm looking for. I don't think I should be forced to sit around for 4 months waiting for a part to come in when they've got a whole lot full of power control modules sitting in their lot. And so I'm going to go down to Tucson G to Larry Miller tomorrow and talk to the manager, the owner, whoever's in charge over there, and say, how do we
Larry, talk to
resolve?
Larry. Tell me you want to talk to Larry.
Yeah, well, I'll do that. I mean, I don't know. Is he in Tucson? I don't know.
He used to, I think he's up in Salt Lake City, honestly, but
He probably
might be
is.
wrong.
No, Steve Christie used to be that. That used to be Steve Christie's Jeep, I think, before it became Tucson Jeep.
Maybe Steve can help you out. Board of
Yeah,
Supervisors.
I might do that. But anyway, that's kind of my rant. Is I'm now kind of stuck here with a Jeep, which I can't sell because I can't even drive it to the place where I can sell it, and
So-
I can't drive.
Let me ask you this, Paul. Does it quit when you don't use the cruise control?
It has quit when I wasn't using the cruise control. Yes,
Yeah.
I was accelerating. It had something to do with the downshifting. When it downshifts, now on the way from Las Cruces back to Green Valley, you go through that hilly country there out by
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to say not Wilson, but anyway, between New Mexico and Tucson, there's some pretty steep hills and things there in that thing. And I just played it by ear. I just left it alone and cruise control, and it went up those hills. It downshifted. It worked just fine, but I can't trust it anymore.
Yeah.
I can't.
Wow.
I never know when it's going to quit, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty dangerous thing. I had one problem where I was passing a truck and it quit, and I had to squeeze in behind him to get over to the right hand side of the road and get off the road.
Wow.
So anyway, that's my rant. Is I got to figure out how to get satisfaction from this contract, which I paid for 13 years ago,
Yeah.
that has not served me very well.
Well, you're a patient guy because we had a Mercury Mariner hybrid, one of the first ones, and Patty and I we drove it to San Antonio from Tucson, and on the way back, about 50 miles east of El Paso, it quit. I mean, it just stopped, dead. We pulled over the side of the road, and I said, "What are we going to do here?" I mean, there's 50 miles east of El Paso. There's nothing, right? I mean, there's less than nothing out there. So we sat there for a while, made a few calls, called AAA. Before anything happened, I said, "Well, let's see if it'll start." It started up, and I said, "Okay, well, we're going to drive it, see if we can get to El Paso." Well, we got to El Paso, so we looked at each other, and I said, "We're just going to keep going. We're going to keep going till we get to Tucson." So that's what we did. We just kept driving, and we got to Tucson, and we traded it in when we got there for our first Lincoln. So we didn't want anything I just can't drive a car that I can't trust. So I know
Well,
what you mean. It drives you crazy. But 8 times, man. I mean, you and Mary Margaret you're very patient people.
Very patient.
Yeah. Good for you.
Well,
I'll keep loving my Toyota Tacoma.
There you go.
There you
I
go.
just I don't want to buy a new Jeep. This one's got everything I want in it, exactly the way I want it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could probably take most of it out and put it in another Jeep, but
So what year is it, Paul?
it's a 13.
Okay.
And while
Well,
it was in the shop,
they must have other Jeeps around, like you said, that have power control modules they can put in and load the
Well, that's what I'm
software
gonna-
up, and yeah.
that's what I'm going to find out tomorrow. Because
I
the guy
mean,
I'm
gee
dealing with
whiz.
is a service writer.
Yeah.
He
Right.
he knows how to send you to the right shop, but
Yeah.
he can't make decisions. So I'm going to go in tomorrow and stir the pot a little bit, see what I can get done.
They've probably got, does it have to have a 2013 power control module or?
I doubt it because almost everything I see says 2007 to 2018 is the JK model.
Hmm.
I don't know, but I think 13 was the first one with the Pentastar V6 engine. They've been using an inline 6. This is a V6.
Yeah.
So it may have a different module, but the follow-on years should have worked, should be the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Well, the big news in the Tucson auto industry lately was that Jim Click is selling.
Yeah, he sold his business. Yeah,
Oh, really? Yeah. Who bought
Yeah.
it? I wonder who bought it. Do you know?
Some
It was a
company out of Seattle or something.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Wow. I never thought that would happen.
but he's
That's
only
a-
selling if I remember right, Ken. He was just selling the Southern Arizona dealerships,
Oh, really?
Home Tuttle and and Jim Click, but he was keeping the California businesses. Is the way
He
I think I
spent,
remember.
he spent all his money in Arizona. He pretty much picked the wrong horse in every election, right? He wasn't a good bettor. So yeah, we had some good candidates, and he didn't jump on board with them. So I don't know about Jim.
Really?
That's interesting. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I can't remember the big election, which one, and we were surprised who he financed. But yeah, it was. Oh, I did want to ask you, Ken, about. I see Frank Antonori is the new sergeant at arms for
Assistant
the
Sergeant
for
of
the
Arms, I think.
oh
Yeah.
for the state.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what
Thank
is
you.
that? What does the sergeant of arms do?
Sergeant of Arms
Make sure
assists,
things run right.
maintains peace.
He's the bouncer.
Yeah, he's the bouncer. The Sergeant of Arms is a lady,
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
Carrie Hughes from here in
Oh.
Yavapai County.
Okay.
And she's pretty good sized girl though. She might be a pretty good sergeant of arms, but I wouldn't want to tangle with Frank Antonori in his Green Beret days. So
There you go. Yeah.
uh,
So does the sergeant of arms have anything to do with watching over the minutia of the state party at all? No.
No,
It's
I
no,
think-
just
Sergeant of Arms is supposed to attend state meetings and make sure that nothing gets out of control. And if somebody's being
Got it.
disruptive or whatever, the president of the party could tell the sergeant of arms to remove somebody. And I mean,
Got
it's
it.
one of those
like the guy
never
that
does a
watches.
lot.
Yeah.
never does a lot until there's a big
Yeah.
fiasco, and then I don't know how they're supposed to do what they're supposed to do. But
So their role is pretty much like it is in Congress
yeah,
and sergeant of arms in the House and that kind of thing, right? Did you have a sergeant at arms in Arizona
in the
House?
oh, absolutely, yeah.
In the
And the
Senate,
sergeant of
yeah.
arms, the sergeant of arms at the state legislative level is a pretty significant position because they
Yeah.
oversee the security staff. I
Mm,
mean,
yeah.
sergeant of arms at the Senate. I had to send the sergeant of arms once to collect a wayward state senator who was not showing up on the floor to vote like she was supposed to. And he had to go all the way to Lake Havasu City, found her in a theater, and put her in the DPS car and brought her back to the Capitol.
Watching a movie? She was watching
Yep.
a movie? Oh my goodness. And she was supposed to be in Phoenix.
Supposed to be in Phoenix voting on the budget, but she she didn't want to
That's interesting. Yeah. Very
be
cool.
on
Well,
record for. She
good
didn't want to
job.
be on record for something, for or against something.
Oh,
So
okay.
she just skipped town, and I had
Just-
to send the sergeant of arms to find her.
Yeah, it's like all those Democrats ran off out of Texas. What was that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
a few months
Yeah.
ago, right? Tried to
Yeah.
hide up in Illinois or something. Yeah, when they were, I guess that was when Texas was redistricting, right?
Yeah.
I
They
think
tried to hide.
it was before that. That was seemed like that was more than a year ago.
It might have been before that. They've done it more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
so interesting. Yeah. So, well, anything else going on that's real? Let me see. Let me look at my list here. I haven't heard any more about Greenland. Haven't heard any more about they've arrested, I know they arrested at least one more person in the church invasion. And what else we got here?
The president said at his cabinet meeting, was it today or yesterday, that things are going swimmingly with the new regime in Venezuela, but the new regime in Venezuela is really the old vice president who was part of the corruption. So
Yeah,
apparently,
appointed by Maduro. Yeah.
apparently she figured out that if the United States military can come pluck Maduro out of his bed at night, she
They can
better play
pluck
ball
me.
with us.
Yeah.
That would be a clue, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, well, that's good. I mean, yeah, I heard that they've already cashed in some of the oil and put it in some kind of special fund for the
That's got to
Venezuelan
be a
people.
what's happening behind the scenes has got to
Yeah.
be one of the most fascinating
Oh yeah.
studies of culture and government and corruption and just
Military strength.
human nature. As you've had all of these people, I mean, just taking
Yeah.
Maduro out of the equation doesn't mean that the
Oh yeah.
corrupt structure of the Venezuelan government is
Right.
suddenly cured of all of the jerks
Oh
and
yeah.
bad apples.
No.
And but I guess the threat of being plucked out of your bed at night might be enough to cause enough of the other ones to be
Yeah.
flying a little straighter already.
And you also, I guess I didn't realize that China and Russia, and I knew Cuba was sort of involved in Venezuela. I didn't realize Russia and China were so much doing so much stuff down there. So they all got a big slap on the hand over this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That and just just speaking of that sort of thing, Adelita Grijalva came out and said she wants people in Arizona to fight ICE. Um, she's pushing basically the same problems or protesting that's going on in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
She thinks the people in
So
Minneapolis are right. Yeah.
so when everybody's trying to calm it down, right,
Yeah.
and get things copacetic and back off and stop the rhetoric, the Tucson mayor,
No,
or
no,
is
no,
she
no, no.
she's a new
She's
congressman.
new congressman. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Congresswoman.
she opened her big mouth, and then so the attorney general opens her
Yeah.
mouth, and
She's already been videotaped fighting ICE the other day at the detention center.
yeah,
She went down there and created a stir. So
yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
I just got a breaking news on my phone that Trump has struck a deal with the Democrats to avoid a shutdown. The Democrats have been voting against the funding bills for Department of Homeland Security,
Hmm.
and they were about to shut Homeland Security down at the end of the month, but some agreement's been worked out. It's got a big picture of President Trump and what's his name, the Senator
Schumer.
Schumer. Yeah, it's got Schumer and Trump. They're not in the same picture together, but they're
Yeah,
looking at each
yeah.
other.
Yeah, they can't be seen.
No.
Trump doesn't want to be seen with him, so interesting. Well, I'm glad they settled it because I heard
Yeah.
they were talking about stopping the one bill, and I mean they actually did a great thing. They got the 12 budget bills through the House
Mhm.
and to the Senate, and they're getting that all settled now. So we're going to have regular order. But all of a sudden, they came up with this DHS, Department of Homeland Security stuff, and so I heard they were thinking about cutting that out and revising it, but then it'd have to go back over to the House, and they would have to vote on it again. So anyway, that's good. That's good news.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, but that's okay.
Well, I think what the deal is, the Democrats were afraid that this time they were going to really get caught shutting the government down, even though they tried to blame it on the Republicans the last time. Everybody knows
yeah.
it was Schumer's shutdown, and
Yeah.
and he couldn't finagle a way to make it the Republicans' fault if they shut it down themselves this time.
Well, we can what I was thinking was that John Thune would whisper in his ear and say, if you try to shut it down this time, we're going to get rid of the filibuster.
Yeah, that could have been a worker.
I hope that he did that, but I don't know. I don't know if Thune.
I wish he'd just go ahead and get rid of it straight up.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
Yeah, I agree.
I had a debate with a lady that I really respect here. That's very political, and she moved away from the villages. Now they moved into a not assisted living, but a independent living place down in Tampa area, and we get a lot of political discussions, and she's not sure she wants to get rid of the filibuster. So I kind of let her have it with all the reasons you need to get rid of it, and she agreed with me finally. So, but that wasn't my point. I just think there's really some good reasons to do it because
Yeah.
the Democrats are going to do it as soon as they get the chance. There's no doubt.
Yeah. When they get the
tried.
majority.
Yeah, they've already tried. Manchin and Sinema stopped them from doing it. So
Yeah.
So you guys heard all about the Sinema thing with her boyfriend now, right?
What a mess.
What is
Alienation.
going on there?
Alienation of affection.
I know. Isn't that something?
I think they quit using that term back in 1847 or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
evidently it's still the law's still on the books there in the Carolinas.
Well, I thought that that wife was going to have a pretty good basis for a lawsuit, right?
Yeah.
But if the audience hadn't heard, there's a guy that was on Sinema's security team, right?
Head of her
security that was married to a gal in North Carolina, and now she's suing based on a North Carolina law where she can sue when someone tries to steal your husband.
Well, evidently he filed for divorce, and that's what the basis of her alienation of affections program.
Evidently, Sinema spent a lot of campaign money whining and dining him, or somebody's money.
Yeah,
right?
this could be the crack in the old financial wall that she doesn't want anybody looking in.
I thought I was under the impression that everybody thought she was gay.
Well, I think she's bi.
She's bi.
Oh, she's bi. Okay.
She swings both ways.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, we won't go there.
This is a family show.
It's a family show. We don't go there. So, okay. Well, it's just about time anyway, guys. So, hey, it's great talking with you both. I enjoy it very much.
Me too.
Yeah,
me too.
And who's going to be on your show next week, Ken? They canceled this week, but they're going to be there next week.
Of all people, Sergio Ariano.
Oh, Sergio.
Why am I surprised? I'm not going to say anything.
I'm not going to say anything either, but I think it's I just remember him when he first showed up down here in Green Valley, as almost a runner, just flitting around trying to get into the politics thing. And now here he is, the state committeeman, the state chairman.
State chairman, GOP chair.
That's a pretty good climb up the ladder there for a little guy that
wait till I tell Patty, Ken. Oh, that's a good one. I can't believe it. Okay, well, I may not tune in next week. Thanks everybody for watching and joining us, and we'll be back next week. And this is 4 Men in America, and you all have a good evening, and God bless America.
All righty.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Ken and Paul.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Pure adrenaline.
If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better.